What up, dude? Welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Curt Steele. Today, it's our Boss Up Ball Out mock draft 2.0. We back with another mock draft. We got a couple of twists and turns for this one, but if you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 3,000 subscribers, and we are currently at $27.95. Like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. And we have channel memberships. Shout out to my man T-Bone Locks for being a member of our channel. It's another way to help grow this platform. Now it's time to bring in my co-host for today's show. First up, man, it's your auntie's favorite content creator for the Detroit Lions, man. Like I told you before, man, if y'all want to know about the Tupperware T-shirt exchange, hit the man up in the DMs, man. It's the man, the myth, the legend, LL Cool Towards. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, y'all? Happy Wednesday morning.
Man, y'all see him sitting outside of Ford Field, man, the hardest working man down there in Jackson, Michigan, coaching kids, cooking meals, running fade, knocking people out, writing rhymes. It's the Wolf and Lion who?
Coach Mike Jones. What's going on, Lion fans?
If you're new to the channel and you don't know how our show works, this is how we get down. We look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they are balls up with that blade dance. If we disagree, we say they are balled on. And we give our reasons why we agree or disagree. Not getting that Stephen A., that Skip Bayless, that Nick Wright. With no hot takes here, just our true and natural thoughts and opinions about what's going on with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. A little different today. Mock draft, man. You know, we don't do a lot of these. We kind of just, usually our resident expert for this is LL, but we decided to join in, you know what I'm saying, on the mock drafts. And kind of do a little bit differently this year. So, we holding the group mock drafts. And, had a little fun with this thing yesterday. Did a mock draft yesterday. So first up, we have some trades in the draft. So before we get to the picks, let's look at the trades that we made in this draft. We stayed pat at number 28, but in round two, we went down to from 60 down to 61 for a 2026 third round from Washington Commanders. And then round three, we went down from 102 to round 4 to 107 and a round 6 pick at 182 from Jacksonville. So, we had to deal with Jacksonville. And then we went up in the fourth round to 131 and up to 184 in round number 6 from New Orleans. We gave them that 2027 pick number 7, 7th round, pick 228 and 224, and a 2026 fourth round pick. So we made some wheelers and dealings yesterday. So if you look at the draft, we're picking 60, 107, 182, 131, and 184. So we traded out of the 7th round. We don't have any picks in the 3rd round. So we traded out of the 3rd round and then up into the 4th round for 2 picks. And then from the 7th round up into the 6th round for 2 picks. So, all right. So let's get into this thing. LL, you was up first, man. And who did you pick?
At pick 28, which I've done before in one of my mock drafts, I took that main from Michigan, and that is defensive tackle Kenneth Grant. You got his measurables up there. I was trying to pull it up as well, but he goes 6'4", 331. He can play any spot in that interior defensive line, at least in my opinion. I'm trying to pull up his. I thought he would have a better RAS score than that. I just want to see that his RAS score was 7.17. I don't know about that math bomb, but whatever. It don't matter. But, we talked about him a couple different times. It's that mountain of a man, Kenneth Grant, to help solidify some things. We got some injuries on the inside, and we need some depth on the inside, and I think he can do it all. DJ Reader probably won't be around forever, so this is DJ Reader Jr. in a way. What you got? Or people out there, let us know what you think in the comments about that main Kenneth Grant.
Yeah, I like the pick, man. He adds depth to the defensive line and play multiple spots. Can play out on the edge, can play in the interiors. like the pick with Kenneth Grant. What you got, Coach Jones? You know, we love the Wolverines here.
Yeah, and it's a boss up, and it's not just because he's a Michigan Wolverine. It's because he's an explosive talent on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, man, I told you before, man. I said I think it was against Penn State when he ran that dude down about
Yeah.
20 yards downfield from behind the running back. I was like, wow, he hawked him down. I'm like, okay, that's the type of explosiveness. That's the type of want. Like you got to really want to catch a running back 20 yards downfield from behind.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even think most D linemen can do it.
Nah, I don't think he could do that as well, man. All right, for me, I was up next, round number 2, and like I said, it went from pick number 60 just down one slot to pick 61 because Washington wanted somebody. So I picked up JTT out of Ohio State, defensive end, 6'4", 265, rugged defensive edge rusher. What I liked about him, I've always liked him over uh Jack Sawyer. I've just liked him over Jack Sawyer. I just think that with that guy, man, he's tough. He's the right size for the Detroit Lions and the scheme, man. Can play different and different defensive setups. JTT knows how to use his power, and his game revolves around being physical. And he's got a good at making well-timed moves, using his length to break free of blocks. He gives it his all. He has a high motor, and he's got average speed when chasing down plays outside, but he can definitely set the edge. One thing we talked about this when we talked about Jack Sawyer during the college football playoffs. Jack Sawyer had 4.5 sacks. JTT had 6.5 sacks during the college football playoffs. So in that 4-game stretch, yeah, 6.5 sacks. I mean, that's what's up.
Yeah.
He got some things to improve on his pass rushing, but I think that he will be a reliable starter. I think that when he's one of those guys that he can definitely set the edge on the other side and let Hutch eat. He's not a dynamic pass rusher, but he provides power, sets the edge, and makes it easy for the player from on the other side of him to get to the quarterback. So, what do you guys think about pick number 61, my man JTT out of Ohio State?
I don't like how LL smiled and the when you said he just like
I want you to see.
but yeah, but I don't really care which pass rusher they get from Ohio State. I think you gotta be used to playing in big games if you a Buckeye. So yeah, man, I'm good with it. I think JTT may have a little bit more how do you say like bend and twist to his game than Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer is more of like a how we all thought. Not saying he's like this, but how we all thought that Aiden Hutchinson was going to play when he got drafted. You know,
I get what you're saying.
We was all kind of like, you know, there's a lot of people who were like, man, he's kind of stiff and he kind of don't really have a lot of bend, and I don't know, you know, is he going to really, you know, and he. So JGT is a good pick, man. I like it.
Yeah, what you got, LL?
Coach Mike made me hate Jack Sawyer a little bit more by putting that comparison. Not gonna lie, but no, you're right. I didn't talk about JTT a few times. I think he's gonna be nice. In the reality, I don't know if he's gonna be there. Like I said, he kind of remind me of the guy from last year, Tuli. I think that's what they call him. Whatever, Tulamolu, who I'm probably saying that all wrong, but went to the Chargers. But, you know, he didn't last too long in the second round, so I'm not sure if this guy will. But if he does, welcome to Detroit, JTT.
Yeah, definitely. All right, time for the our third pick. And Coach Jones, this was your pick. Who did you select with that pick at the 107 in the 4th round?
Right, yeah, so we traded a pick. And I forgot who we traded with, but we traded that pick.
It was I'll tell you who. Wait a minute. Hold on here. It was we traded with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, yep, Jacksonville Jaguars, and we took offensive guard Jackson Slater out of Sacramento State, and I think Jackson Slater was a steal to get in the 3rd round. Yeah, man. He's explosive. He has, out of his stance, as you see right there on the screen, he has been good leverage. He has good pad level, and he has a motor, man. Like when Jackson, I've seen him a couple of times on film, and he want it. Like he wants to do it. Like whatever bad and whatever nasty that he wants to, like that you thinking, he wants to do it to you, and he wants to be that dude, man. So and that's the attitude that you need if you want to be and on the Detroit Lions team, man. I think he can come in and be a day one starter, because he's experienced. So yeah, Jackson Slater. What do y'all think?
Yeah, he brought that action, boss. You know what I'm saying? He looks for contact. Kind of reminds me of LL's Strebo. You know what I'm saying? He has plays with bad attention. So I get what you're saying. So yeah, I like the young fella. Doesn't play, not a big name school in Sacramento State, but he plays with a big time game. So I like Jackson Slater in the third round. That's the fourth at the beginning of the fourth round. So I like
Oh yeah,
his game. Yeah, fourth round, 107. What you got, LL?
You said Sacramento. Who I just seen somebody was Ryan Coogler. Well, dang, because I hate Ryan Coogler, but Ryan Coogler, the director of such films as Fruitvale Station and the Black Panthers and Creed and all that. He used to play wide receiver, I think, for Sacramento State. I just seen that, and that's what happened. Y'all kept saying Sacramento State, and I just started seeing it in my head. But I like Jackson Slater. I see him as a possible, a right guard from day one, or a guard. Sorry, not whichever one, but a guard from day one, and then possibly sliding over for Ragnar. So yeah, I like Jackson Slater, and this was an excellent pick and trade, Coach Mike.
Yeah, LL is the only person I ever heard say they don't like Ryan Coogler. I've never heard that before.
Can I tell you why?
I've never heard that. I've never heard someone say, "Yeah, man, that dude a buster."
Can I tell you why?
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Well, I shouldn't have to tell y'all because y'all seen the movies, but if y'all seen Black Panther 1, T'Challa in every other instance in media is out cold. He one of the baddest mamma jammers on the planet. In this movie, he got beat up twice in his own movie and tossed off a mountain. So that's that's why, because Black Panther supposed to be the man, and he let me down. And it's a lot more, but we'll keep it clean. But
hey, man, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. Hey, the Boss Up Ball Out podcast is sponsored by Dubby Energy Drink. My favorite flavor on the show is Blue Tropical Punch, the Irish Strike, man. It's the ultimate fuel for conquering all that is ahead of you. Some benefits, man. Get your laser focused with that green coffee fruit extract, what helps you concentrate with some great brain food with L-taurine and L-citrulline, the best of many amino acids to help brain function. I need to give some to LL. It has brain boosting vitamins such as B3, B6, B12, and vitamin C. Energy comes from 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. No sugar, no maltodextrin, artificial colors, dyes, or BS, because your boy Curt still got type 2, so he needs that no sugar added. Costs us about $1 per serving, man. Beats your daily coffee or canned energy drink. No crashes, no jitters, no anxiety. You can find a link to buy Dubby in the description of the video and use the code BossUpBallOutPod at checkout to get 10% off your order. Take on your day with Dubby. All right, getting back into the draft, man. All right, now we headed to the next pick in the draft, and we're going back to LL. Who you got, my guy?
At what pick was this?
This is pick
130.
At pick 130?
Pick them 130. So it wasn't that was already our pick. So who you got?
Yep, at 130, I selected safety, versatile safety out of Clemson, R.J. Mickens. He goes 6 foot, 199. Very, 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 very good athlete. Had a 8.6 RAS score. Just reading up on him, he's a fifth-year senior. So he has a lot of football experience. Like I believe one of these was talking about, you just got to get more reps. Of course, they're not pro reps, but this guy has reps in general. He got put up some impressive numbers, and it is mentioned in his little profile that he put up some of the best tape there is. So check this guy out. We selected safety R.J. Mickens out of Clemson.
Yeah, I've watched him. I live down here in North Carolina, so I live in that ACC, SEC country. Seen a lot of tape on R.J. Mickens, and ironically, I was rooting against him because I don't like the head coach of Clemson. I think he's a clown. But yeah, but R.J. Mickens is a baller, man. That dude, he's versatile. He definitely plays with a lot of quick hitch. He doesn't have a lot of wasted movement, and he can get to where he wants to get in a hurry. So I like R.J. Mickens out of Clemson. What you got, Coach?
I'm with you. I really don't know all that much about RJ, but does come from a highly talented school. So I won't, I'm gonna trust that, that he made the right choice, because I mean, when you come from a team that's used to playing in games like that, you do have some big game experience, so he can come in and be a contributor.
Yeah, he was in that one of those classes at Clemson when he was one of those last, being a fifth year player. He's one of those last guys that played when Clemson was good, because they've been trashed the last couple, because they don't do the transfer portal for some reason. I don't know what that is. That's all about. Anyways, all right, the next pick, man. We got coming up, man. It was a top 30 visit. I was like, well, this guy has been on the Lions' radar, and they've had him in and hear good things about him. And it's wide receiver at pick number 131. So we picked 130 and then 131 because we had the trade up for Isaac Tesla. Okay, because it ain't Tesla, it's Tesla. You look at the spelling, it's Tesla. Okay, from Arkansas, 6'4", 214, tracks the tracks that attacks at the high point down the field. Big dude, 6'4", 214, and basically at Arkansas he played an oversized slot, kind of like an Anquan Bolden played this slot, and with his big self, like he's a huge slot. And you can kind of move him in and move him out. Definitely makes a mismatch for smaller cornerbacks, especially for slot corners. Makes catches in coverage, was tight, got a good catch radius. Can't get a lot. He's not quick. He has straight line speed, but he's not quick. So he doesn't have like a good first step off the line. But once he gets past you, he can run.
Right.
And here's my thing. Here's what I'm thinking. What he can be definitely starting off in the pros. He can play on special teams. That's one of the big things that you look at him at 6'4" and 214, man. He'll be a hell of a gunner with the speed that he has, man. So that's why I picked him. I think that he's a guy who can play some on the offense, but his niche will be on the special teams. So what you guys think about Mr. Tesla from Arkansas?
He should do some Tesla commercials, man. Like how you do that. Tesla.
Not today.
Right. People ain't too happy with Tesla.
I'm not talking about people behind. I'm talking about what's good for his financial status.
It might not be good for his financial status.
Yeah. But you know what? He can come in and he can be he can contribute. He could battle with let's see here. I'm trying to think of who's the last receiver on the roster. The wide receiver 5.
I don't even.
Might be Leaf.
Antoine Green. I don't know.
Maybe one of those guys, if you can beat them out.
Might be Leaf.
Yeah, I mean, I think Leaf got a little favoritism in Detroit, man. But you know what? I'm not mad at the pick. So see if you can come in here, contribute, and bring a little speed to the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna be hard for any of these guys in the lower part of the draft to make the roster. Just to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what you got, Ella?
Kwame Tim Patrick Jr. If you want to say it that way, this will be that kind of he'll play that kind of role, at least in my head. And he could be they could train him up to be whatever they need Tim Patrick to be if he decides to get paid someplace else, or other things decide to step in on it. But I like the pick.
I think that dude had like a 9.9 something or 9.6 RAS score. His RAS score was ridiculous. So, yeah. So, all right. So moving up, we're in the 6th round of the draft, and Coach Jones, man, he got a big time player from Brad Holmes' favorite school. You got who, Coach Jones?
So I went and drafted defensive tackle Tim Smith from Alabama. Tim Smith, actually, he is kind of on the smaller side to be a defensive tackle, so he can play on that kind of that Lee McNeil role. On that 3 tech. He is also a nose tackle. They got him listed as a nose tackle D tackle, so he must have some versatility to slide in. So that must mean that his strength is up to par if he playing on the inside. When you play in the SEC, man. But you know what? He's a guy who, from his profile, he's a hard worker because he steadily climbed every year, making improvements on his game. So that shows you the kind of the dog and the willing to work ethic that you need in Detroit. He can come in and be a contributor because our health status on that D line, it's shaky, man. And he's a guy who, when you're young and you come from a big time school, Alabama, your body is kind of good to start off with. You know what I'm saying? So that we might need that just for the health purposes. Start off with, but he has strong hands. He makes tackles in small spaces. He has a high motor. He's versatile, which means he can move. He might be able to even do what Levi Azarique was doing. I don't know if he can, but his profile says he's a versatile player, and he played in the SEC, man. So he's durable. I don't think he missed any games in his college career. I know he played 51 games in his college career, so that don't sound like he missed many. So yeah, what do you guys think about Mr. Tim Smith from Alabama?
He'll go with a long line of Bama boys in Detroit, man. I think over the last three drafts, we've taken at least one Alabama Crimson Tide player. So okay, I get it. And with Aleem not being back towards not until like towards the end of this November, beginning of December, it makes sense for the Lions to draft a defensive tackle. I mean, like you just got some more depth. Not saying he's going to make the roster, picking that in that position where we're picking him at, but he could be a good practice squad player, and bring him in as a rotational guy later on, if need be. So, as to the depth, because you got a lot of depth on that defensive line, defensive tackle. If we add Kenneth Grant in that first round, so what you got, LL?
I like to pick Tim Smith. I was thinking yesterday at some point, just about drafting stuff in real life, but like what kind of players we don't have. And I kind of forgot about Levi, but just in that body type of this, like that 6'2", 6'3" ish, 305 ish, 305 or below, less than 310, that kind of player, kind of in the same body type as like Quentin Williams and players like that. Body type, not play type, but body type, all that kind of stuff. And we don't. But again, I forgot about Levi when I was thinking about that. But I was thinking like we don't got nobody in that body type, so we might look for that in the draft. But he may be one of those. Like you said, he's versatile. He can play the nose, or he can play that 3 tech. And that's big because we have use a lot of versatile players in our systems and stuff like that. They can find some playing time, like you had mentioned about Levi playing on the outside and things like that. The only thing about that is did Levi really play the edge? He was there, but did he really do anything for us? But I'm saying, he wasn't, but circumstances. But I like to pick. Shout out to Tim Smith.
Yeah, I think Levi a lot of times had outside linebacker help.
No, I get it. I'm just
yeah.
All right,
leave him out there in space.
the last pick we had in the draft is a familiar name for some people in the Detroit area, so we're gonna check it out. LL, you picked.
All right, at pick, what was it? Pick 184, I think it was.
Yep.
Oh yeah, right there on the screen. Sorry about that. 184. We took converted linebacker. I was told Kobe King out of Penn State. My dog Curt gave me some game on this young man. Says he goes about 6 foot or 6'1", 236 ish. Had a RAS score of 8.03. Very versatile player. Very rangy. I'm looking at some of his numbers here. What was it? What was I looking at? Dang it, where did it go? About just his breakups and stuff like that. Can't find it anymore. But he can play all over the field, and he can put you on the ground. He's a decent tackler. So we already have one of these guys, the type in Malcolm Rodriguez. He'll be missing some time. We'll definitely need depth at linebacker. So welcome to Detroit, Kobe King.
Right. All right. Looking at and the reason why I picked Kobe King, I looked at some of his tape because I kind of gave this kind of pick to LL. I was like, man, Kobe King, he's very rangy, very fast, good RAS score. And like I said it on the screen, he can play all the special teams, so he can play all 4 phases. And I was looking for a backup guy to Malcolm Rodriguez. So you look at Rodriguez going to miss time with the knee injury, and Kobe King is a Detroit native. So bringing him home to back to the Motor City. That's one thing that I kind of like. Okay, piqued my interest. Like, he's a Detroit native, he'll fit right in with the culture. He knows about the Lions, grew up around the team. So that's why I picked him. I just think that he's one of those guys that could stick as a special teams guy, and he can, if we have one of those guys that we have on special teams, they fall off, we can definitely bring him up. Saying again, another practice squad type player. Looking at where he is in the draft, he'll be one of those guys. If we draft him at that spot, he's probably not going to make the 53-man roster. We're just too deep right now, especially at linebacker. We've said a lot of linebackers this offseason. So, I mean, we picked up a lot of cats at that position, but it's always good to have more. If you definitely look at all the injuries we had last year, the linebacker, it's always good to have another one, at least in your back pocket. So what you got on Kobe King?
You know what? I'm all for it. I give a boss up to LL and Curt, because Kobe King is whenever you get guys from big schools and late rounds, I'm for it. Because that'd be a lot of times teams go and they pick guys from smaller schools, and when you pick guys from smaller schools, they don't have a lot of big game experience. But Kobe King does, playing at Penn State. So he does have a wide range of playmaking abilities, kind of like a poor man's Micah Parsons in a way. So yeah, I'm with it. I also think that he can. I think he can make the roster. But he'll more than likely be a practice squad player. But I feel like he would eventually probably make a couple appearances on that 53-man. So
yeah, for sure. I could see it happen. Me, Curt.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. Get caught up. I can see that. I can see that. Hey man, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us with this content and gets it out to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. So tell us what you think about our draft. You know what I'm saying? What do you think? How do you feel about what we did in this mock draft? It was kind of fun. I mean, we did it in like the draft and the Pro Football Network. Shout out to Math Bomb. We used their draft simulator, and he was one of the creators of that, and he helps facilitate that. So he had a couple trade offers, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I liked it better than I liked the PFF one. So
yeah.
I just like the way the flow of the draft was good, and and the trades. So let's kind of just look at them right quick. We'll put everyone back on the screen. We had Kenneth Grack was our first pick at number 28. Then we had JTT at 61. We had my man Jackson Slater at 107. 130, we had RJ Mickens out of Clemson. Then we had Isaac Tisla 131. Tim Smith at 182. And to round it out, we had my man Kobe King, Detroit native, at 184, man. So I think we had some fun with that. We got enough time for one more mock draft before the actual draft kicks off here. In 8 days. 8 days. We're 8 days away from the draft. So next Thursday. So you know what? Next Wednesday will be our last. We'll be 3.0 next Wednesday. We're going to mark it on your calendars. We'll give our final mock draft right before the big day. So it'll be mock draft on one day and then the actual draft on the other day. And then that follow-up on Monday, we will have our draft recap show. So make sure you tune in to find out what we thought about the NFL draft, man. If you haven't done so already, do the show a favor. Make sure you follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms. My man, Coach Jones, does a great job over there on Wolf Alliance Sports Talk, and he does some good shorts over here on this channel as well. I post content from this channel on all of my social media platforms. And y'all know what day it is. It's Hump Day, baby, which means it's Thursday Eve for LL's Instagram page. So make sure you go check that out, man. I know my high media going to have some good stuff coming up here in a few days, man, because 420 is coming up. So make sure you check out my man LL's Instagram on my high media, because I know he gonna get it popping or puffing on 420. Time for party shots for today's show, man. Before we get to that, hey, make sure you check out the merch shop for the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. You can find a link in the description and on the homepage of this channel, man. We got some gear coming out, so make sure you check it out, man. And once we get everything, we're gonna have some surprises for you. We're gonna have some more gear, some gear you didn't think you can get in that shop is gonna be in that shop. So check it out, man. It's gonna be fire, man. But all right, so time for final thoughts for today's show. So I'm gonna let Coach Jones go first, man. What you got for these people on this hump day?
Man, this is gonna be a trying 36 hours for me, because I'm doing what I call cloping, and that's close and opening. So I close tonight and then I open tomorrow morning. So I'm just getting my mind right. Got to get focused for my cloping. But you know what? I'm excited for the draft, man. And we gonna keep, everybody's got they picks and who they think a team needs, but none of us really know. We're gonna see on draft day or draft weekend if some of us was actually on something. So stay tuned.
Yeah. All right. So, let me get your thoughts on the upcoming events this weekend, LL, because I know you're gonna get it passing on 420.
Well,
on Sunday.
Coach, it is. No, but Coach Mike, for your cloaking, go ahead and get you some of that Dubby right there for you. But all those L-glutamine and all the other stuff. Easter Sunday, So, but he is risen, and we all gonna get risen, because we also celebrating 420. So I think we are barbecuing on Saturday just to leave Easter for people's families and things like that. But yeah, we gonna be celebrating in the spirit of 420. But dang, I had something else I was gonna say. It was a funny joke and I forgot. In the next mock draft, if we find one that we can include players on the roster, I got a trick for y'all. That's all I say.
And in the first round, LL trades Jared Goff. We already know. Stop playing with it, man. Hey, man, thank you guys for starting your hump day with us right here, man. We know how Wednesdays get down. Sometimes it can be a little tough, but if you're having a good day at work, make sure you spread that kind word to someone. You never know when a small act of kindness can go to make someone's day. If you're not having a good day, please don't steal no one else's joy, LL. And make sure whatever you're doing in life, you gotta boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. From my fellas, LL Cool Torrance and Coach Mike Jones, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.